Actually, Damon, you just talk to us about those three world champion teammates you had. It was Prost, of course, Mansell, Senna.
Yeah, anyone else?
Just, well, I mean, there aren't many people.
Mansell came back for another go because in '94 he was there as well.
Yeah, but just there aren't many people in the history of Formula One who've had the intra-team battles that you've had. Is there one trait that you'd say applies to all three of them?
Well, I was asked this question recently, and I have to say,
sorry for asking you an unoriginal.
No, it's a question I get. It's actually interesting when you look at the kind of personalities they were, the kind of physiques they were, the kind of characters they were, the way they went. They were different in every respect except for one or two things. One, they were lightning quick, and two, they were incredibly competitive. So it just shows you, I think...
Competitive with you, as in from a selfish point of view, not
with me. No, just the relationships with me, I would say, were different because they were different people. They were different personalities. Nigel would, like to joke around and maybe make a little comment that, that puts you in your place, but at the same time, it wasn't too aggressive or anything. And Alain would just keep himself to himself and be very polite and very quiet and very... very gentle, I'd say. And Ayrton was intense and hardworking and very serious and very different personalities. I mean, they were just chalk and cheese, all of them. But they all were remarkably quick and talented. And I'd put Patrese in there as well. He was. I did a lot of miles against Patrese, and he was. They all had a lot of talent. All these guys, And
how was it back then in terms of the relationship with the teammate? Was it dinner, and did you have dinner together, or was it a gregarious relationship?
No, you do. There were sponsor things you do, and then if you're testing, you'd inevitably end up eating in the motorhome together or something, or maybe in the hotel. But no, you don't. I didn't kick around with them. I was a junior. And I certainly wasn't in their league in terms of their reputation and standing in the sports. So I knew my place, but they were all perfectly good towards me. I never had any issues.
Were you aware at the time that it was a very special place to be alongside these guys?
Of course. I'd spent my life growing up with racing drivers around me. And my dad was a racing driver. And I always looked at his buddies, they were his mates. They'd come around for parties. I'd see him doing stuff with them, and I just thought, I think I liked that relationship. I understood racing drivers. I think I do understand racing drivers, but you can't have buddy relationships with people you're competitive with when you're racing with them. They seem to now more than they used to. But it's quite difficult, especially when they were. Although I was a very similar age, they were a different generation in terms of they'd already been in Formula One for 10 years.